in the SnowRunner. So I'd post a random video of me trying to get the last point into the deep exploration class, which has already caused problems. So this was the first vehicle that was stuck. And then I brought in a Lodestar 1700, and that, even though it had chains, slid into a position where I had to recover. Then I brought the Tega in, and it flipped there. Then I brought the Dairy Special in, thinking, okay, it's heavy enough, I should be able to winch the Tega back onto its wheels, which also has chains, to go rescue this. Yeah, no, the Dairy Special, because I had the stock tires instead of chain tires, although maybe that wouldn't have helped me, is now sitting on its side right here. And I'm bringing the Zig 605R, which I had parked over here for top secret, because I just had an idea, and I hope it doesn't work, but I have a sinking feeling it is, that because of its unique wishbone suspension, I may actually be able to come up in this way and complete this. And then rescue this, and then drive all the way around to rescue this, because I'm not risking getting the Dairy Special, the Zigs into trouble. The Dairy will cost $8,000 to recover. I can't recover it with the Zigs. And the Tega will cost $5,000. I'm willing to eat the $2,000 for the yard, but that's about it. By the way, when you get the trailer there to open the gas station, it's $6 a liter on hard mode, on hard floor. The reason I think I may be able to pull this off is just because of the suspension. Wishbone suspension is really good at getting over rocky areas. So that's kind of why I've got the sinking feeling that it's like, really? Now also you could obviously come up through here, come down here, and come in this way. But from about here to here is kind of like a mud, snow mess. The Dairy got through it fine, but there are a lot of vehicles that would have been stopped in their tracks. And then this is probably the cut through if you try to bring the rocket trailer through. You go around here, all the way down here, and then I personally recommend turning off here, going through here. And I don't know if these corners are wide enough to get the rocket trailer, or if you're just better off taking this detour. But avoid roughly from here to here is like super snow that just slows you down. In my opinion, there's really no point for it to be there. The only reason I can think that they have these tough, difficult zones is for that one particular quest of moving, contract of moving the rocket trailer. And that you do it with the Zig 605R. And basically assuming that would be your vehicle, just as they assume that you use the Dairy Special to put out fires in Ontario, which actually, and so they made the increments of 2,200 liters instead of 1,800 liters, which would have been better, because that would have accompanied other vehicles if you wanted to use that as water carrier semi-trailer. And it seems, well, they didn't make anything super crazy impassable in Ontario, so it's definitely, I'm enjoying it. I still get left with this, did they really learn the lesson? Or did they just go, well, Amur was bad because super mud, super snow, and not really think about the design consequences of assuming a player would use one vehicle when you give them bunches of options. That's kind of the thing I'm wondering. My other complaint would be that they should have designed a more, let's see if I can get this turned. This actually may have been the way you were supposed to go. Oh! I'm glad that didn't end badly. is going to play like a Mandra, which means that players will probably only be moving huge lots of cargo at once with their trucks instead of using trailers. And as such, I would have loved to see the rock slides both on Chernigorsk and the one here on North Aegis and the shore collapse on Cosmodrome only require one set of metal beams instead of two. Because I don't mind challenging deliveries, it's just the terrain's so rugged that it could be a pain to just get anywhere and get anything done. I may have been able to get a scout vehicle here, but I feel like if I push my luck with this the Zix, that will just probably end sadly. So we're gonna do the smart thing and attack. And that's another kind of crucial skill of SnowRunner is know when it's probably not a good idea to try and force something. Because if you try to force something, that potentially can end very, very badly. If it wasn't for that little... yeah. I messed up on the pole because I need to pull from this side so it doesn't get wedged against the rock when I back up. But yeah, we're gonna do something else because this is just a bad idea to try to force this. And what we're going to do is, because I'm the very thing you don't want to be, which is perpendicular to the slope of the hill, we're going to... we're going to tie off the front end, so if I try to maneuver and turn around, I don't roll. Now, if that tree wasn't there, I could potentially pull myself backwards and by the tree. That would have been nice. Like I'm just gonna have to go for it because my idea didn't work. Of course it didn't. I honestly think I got it. But it looks like we're back to my original plan, which was rescue the Tega so it can rescue the yard. And honestly, the yard may not be the best. I brought it just because it moves snow and mud so well, but you could argue that something that's more stable and less prone to get over on hills would be better. There could be an argument, and then there's also the question, since the Con 317 Sentinel was introduced in this region, if some of these side tasks were made with it in mind, and I've just been causing myself nothing but problems because I've been trying to do them in the yard. Well, we're gonna... no, it's not close enough. Yeah, only the front is... and this thing just wants to slide sideways since I don't have chains. There. No, as long as... now, I could try and turn up that road, but that would potentially... yeah. That's what I was worried about happening. So I was gonna say that I was just gonna drive down and turn around on the ice. But... this game sometimes just makes you laugh. But thankfully that didn't end badly. recoveries is tempted, say you just get a crane and lift something light like a Dawn 71 or a Tuz 166 up on top of that rock and just drive it over. It's kind of, I know that's not the way it's supposed to be done, but half of me wonders if you could just like put a small scout vehicle here with a heavy crane and just drive over. I'm gonna this gas station here, to my knowledge, you can't reopen it, so it looks like there's a gas station here. There isn't, so don't be fooled. The gas station is right here. And give me just a moment. So, anyway. And so, yeah, just as a heads up, this isn't a real gas station. Don't be fooled by this. To my knowledge, you can't bring it back. And then here's the turnoff. The warning I'd give if you try to bring the trailer out this way, which I'm not, is that you want something that has a saddle like the Zix's or the Dairy Specials that lifts, or the Pacific P16 that lifts the saddle a decent way off the ground. Because there are some places where if you try to do it with another vehicle, like say the Tega 6436 or Tega 55B, yeah, 6455B, you could end up with the trailer bottoming out because of this language. So, and here's why I don't recommend this. This area is kind of a little bit of a nightmare. Imagine you could potentially rock fall in a small vehicle through some of this, maybe just staying to the side, but big trucks, just there are other ways to get to that village where the trailer is. Or you can just take the big trailer bypass, which would be the better idea also. But because this area was made with the Zix in mind and not a lot of other vehicles, the Zix was flying relatively fine, but the speed is going to be trouble for other vehicles. So, anyway, let's see if we can rescue some vehicles. I'm actually going to try and pull this guy out backwards because that's what I want. And then it gets caught on rocks, so that's not going to work. Okay. In case you're wondering why I'm driving around, that pole I suspect was purposely built there so you couldn't use the bridge with any overly long vehicles. Now I need to turn the rear end of this truck. What I'm gonna do, we're just gonna do this. At the end of the day, as much as I don't like the idea, I may actually have to pay to recover this. Because it all counts on the Zix being heavy enough, which apparently it isn't. Yeah. So, what we're... Okay, now, hopefully, I'll have enough weight to rescue the Tega. Oh, I see what's going on. Its cab's getting stuck. That's what's happening. I was like, why am I not able to pull this? That's what happened. Okay, so if I had a crane, even the American lightweight loading one, I could potentially rescue this guy. Since I don't, I'm gonna instead try and get the Zix stuck again. Yay, go me. Hello, welcome back to the continuing drama of just trying to complete one side casket. Oh, I didn't need those suspension units. No, I didn't get it. Make sure we don't roll over. And in case you're wondering, I just brought it back all the way from Cosmodrome. And yeah, I rolled it, so I had to bring the twin steer in, which, by the way, this road is not made for the twin steer. I would not recommend that. I just needed something that heavy to rescue the Dairy Special, since the other vehicle is in its own situation. Before anything else happens, I'm going to unpack and unload the CK, which, if you're wondering why exactly I'm bringing it here, it's because I got the idea in my head to just stop messing around with these big trucks, drive this in and see if I can rescue the Yar and actually complete this contract. And then finish messing around. I'm just basically, I want to complete this quest, this side task, before anything else happens. I'm just kind of done messing with these trucks. I'm hoping now that I have chains on, I changed out the original off-road tires for muds with chains on them. So, let's see how that goes. I mean, there can be an argument for race suspension and at least 35-inch tires, but I forgoed that just trying to get the lowest center of gravity possible. Although that potentially means I'm going to have issues with bottoming out in snow because of it. But I'm willing to deal with that. I mean, 35s would have been better because also I can put those on other vehicles I have, like the Jeep Wrangler and the Hummer and the Scout 800. The 31s, I think the only vehicle I can think of off the top of my head that they're interchangeable with is the Renegade, so they're not completely useless. And the one thing I will say about the Renegade going forward is it doesn't feel like it's going to tip over every few seconds, metaphorically speaking, like the Scout 800. So if you want some variety in your early game exploring, potentially it could be an option if you have the Jeep Dual Pack. Just go and get the race suspension on Smithville Dam and sell that, since you need the vehicle to sell any upgrades you have for a vehicle. I've got several upgrades for several different vehicles that, because I haven't bought them, they're basically just sitting in my garage and I can't convert them to cash because I don't have the vehicle. Now, this is crazy. This is probably not going to work. I just want to see. Strange things have happened in SnowRunner. Yeah, I don't have to make that happen. Okay. You never know, since it was in the air and not really caught on anything. I was just kind of wondering what would happen. But let's go rescue the Yar. With part of the problem with that may come down to the fact that I was running muds on it without chains. This seems to want to slide even though I do have chains, so that may not have made a big difference. We'll see. It should be relatively easy with the crane. I should be able to rescue the Tega, and since the Zig 605 is already on its tires, I should be able to pull it backwards with the Dairy Special, so I'm actually not worried about recovering those two. It's more about getting to this objective and rescuing the R87 at this point. And so I brought out an old faithful friend to get that job done. I looked at my bank account and I did have enough money to buy like a TUS 166 or a Dawn 71, but then I was like, oh yeah, that's right, I have my CK sitting in the garage on Cosmotron already, so why not just use that and then just buy the proper tires for it, which is what I did. And the unfortunate thing here is that this tree is just far enough away that the winch on the Yar can't reach it, even though it does have the strength too, so. Of course, the R is a lot heavier than the CK, so. I almost thought I had it. See if this rock wedging against this rock will actually help. That's the one bad thing about the CK. It's a relatively light vehicle and that can get you into all kinds of trouble. Oh, we can make the tree there. It means we're actually going to be able to rescue. It's a rescue! Woohoo! Now, since this thing likes to tip over, I'm actually going to try and complete this task. So what happened is I started to slide towards that hole, so I thought if I gunned it, I could just jump over the crack and then make it to the other side, which probably was the wrong thing to do. But that's what I tried to do, and that's how I got the yar into the situation I got it into. But and then it just kind of slid sideways into that little hole. And I don't have a one. Let's see if taking a running start I can actually. And also, this is part where having the locking diff, which this vehicle does have, I just never rebought it, would work, because then I could give power to the wheels that actually have weight on them, like my driver front left one. Instead, the power is just basically going to the wheels that don't have any grip. That's what happens with an unlocked differential. And we're just short of those trees. Oh, that just looks like it has the chance to end in tears right there. But thankfully, it's the light vehicle this time that's stuck, not the heavy one. Because of that, we actually get a redo. Unless, of course, this rock garden. I was supposed to just go this way the whole time instead of trying to jump it. It does look like there may be a bridge. Yep, there's a bridge right here. I was doing it the hard way. What I really want to know is how exactly you were supposed to get up here in the first place, because it's something. It's something, that's for sure. But now that it's not wedged against the rock, we should be able to pull it free from this angle. Wait, almost had it. Almost had it. And if I'm not careful, I'm gonna get stranded without fuel. Yeah, I was gonna say. Well, so, if you didn't want to pay to recover that, how would you go about doing it? Well, I'd want to bring in a stable vehicle with a lightweight loading crane. Probably take a 6436. Because the other issue is avoiding getting caught on things with the anchors. Let me think this through. Oh, it won't let me get to that. Okay, I'll deal with this another time. Let's actually get the other vehicles out of trouble. I don't mind if I ultimately have to pay money for those two to recover. That's only 4K for both of them. So I'm kind of past the point of caring. As long as I don't have to pay to recover the 6 or the K, I'm happy, basically. I'm hoping that this time, because I have chains, I may actually have some leverage, not just be pulled backwards when I try to pull on the 6. We'll see. Well, let's see if I can line this up. See, it wants to... There. That's what I wanted. So I wanted to slide. Not in a way I wanted to. Now... Oh, wrong button. Instead. There. Now we go. And that's how you do a rescue. Okay, we're back to the wedged situation. That's why it doesn't want to come. Fortunately, this crane's at max extension, so I don't have the room to lift it up and rotate it, which is what I'd like to do. Let me try something. Slowly getting it to turn. Okay, so I've rescued vehicles with a lightweight loading crane, but I guess after a certain weight it's a heavy crane only job, is what I'm learning here. Sorry that the camera's kind of not liking what we're doing. Now, I could try backing up further, but honestly I'm just afraid something's gonna happen with this truck. So for the time being, I actually only need the Zix and this truck, so there's actually no reason for me to risk something happening to this. And I can come back with a more, easier to recover if something goes wrong, and more importantly, cheaper truck. So for the time being, I think this is going to conclude our adventure. And that's kind of an important thing to know in SnowRunner, is when you need to call it and just come back with the right equipment.